We begin tonight with our continuing investigation into the young Canadians at the center of the deadly attack on a gas plant in Algeria. Tonight, we can add another face and another name to the story we broke last night about former high school classmates who left this country intent on causing harm abroad. There's a lot of new information to get through tonight, starting with the investigative team that's been breaking this story. First, we go to where the story started, London, Ontario, where the CBC's Adrienne Arsenault is again tonight. Adrienne.
Now, Peter, dealing with the news of a Canadian connection to terrorism overseas has been difficult enough for family and friends and the city, but the problem for them now is that this story isn't over yet. It is horrific enough that there were two, Ali Medledge and Chris Katsirubis, two London, Ontario high school friends who turned towards terror in that Algerian desert. But was it just two? No. A CBC investigation has uncovered that a third student from London South Secondary, another classmate, traveled with them overseas. His name is Aaron Yoon. He somehow ended up in a North African jail before the horrific attack on that Algerian gas field that killed 37 hostages. Aaron Yoon is still in jail. That's him in his grade 11 yearbook picture in 2005. Friends remember him changing, converting to Islam, withdrawing from his old life. He was clearly on someone's radar because in June of 2012, the RCMP started asking questions in London about Aaron Yoon and Chris Katsirubis and Ali Medledge. They approached this community leader on June 15, 2012, most curious about Ali.
They showed me his picture. I didn't know his full name. Before I saw his picture, they gave me the picture and they gave me the full name, so I remembered the name. And they were trying to find information if I had an idea where he would be or if I knew of anybody who had an idea where he would be.
So years worth of questions from both the RCMP and, as we reported last night, CSIS, and still these young men slipped through. What had they been up to? Look at this. Pictures from an apartment Ali and Chris trashed in Edmonton. They were living there briefly in 2007 when they were trying and failing to get steady work. The landlord threw them out. Edmonton is also where Ali was charged with shoplifting. What was going on with them?
Yeah, for such a quiet neighborhood, it's probably,
But for recruitment, like who's...
Their schoolmates still seem stumped and definitely bothered. Brandon Moore says a few years ago he lost sight of Ali, a young man he initially liked a lot.
Super nice guy, he was always chatting. He was a big kid, so I convinced him to try out for football, and I think he quit or something, but we always chatted. I remember him being super, super nice.
Now, late this evening, CBC spoke with the Yoon family, and they confirmed that he had traveled overseas with his high school friend Ali, but they emphasized that he had nothing to do with the terror plot. And even though sources close to the investigation say that Aaron Yoon is in custody, his family maintains that he is not, and they say that he is free to travel. Peter?
All right, Adrienne Arsenault in London tonight.